Good evening and welcome to the Malmesbury Town Council annual meeting. I am Councillor Phil Exton. I have been your mayor for the past year. My term of office comes to an end straight after the parish elections that are due at the beginning of May. What a year it's been. It seems to have gone so quickly as well. It hardly seems like yesterday that I was being voted in by my peers for your mayor, and basically thrown straight into it. That was 7 o'clock in the evening, and the following morning at 9:30, I had a civic reception for a 120 person choir from Bad Hersfeld. It's been a hectic year. Many things that have happened. I'm truly honoured and privileged to have been your mayor for the past year. A couple of highlights for you. Obviously, there was the Athelstan 1100. I'm a member of the Warden Freeman, which obviously the menfolk of our town helped King Athelstan back in the day. And so to be able to be a part of that and to now have a plaque in the Cloister Gardens with my name on it commemorating that is indeed a privilege. What do I do? I suppose is the question. Well, I suppose I'm the face of the town as such. And I've been lucky this year to have local events, county events, countrywide events, and international events. It's probably more than what most mayors would get in their year. But again, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. And it's just happened to fall all in place on my year. The highlights of that, I suppose, would be going to Kingston upon Thames. They obviously are hosting the King Athelstan events for the coronation of Athelstan, during the 1100 years of him becoming king. On an international scale, I've been to France and Germany. The visit to Germany was to upgrade a friendship agreement to a full twinning agreement with Bad Hersfeld. And the other international event, although it was done actually here in this room, was a signing of a friendship agreement with Cherkasy in the Ukraine. So over the course of the last 3 years, they have managed to raise over £21,000, which has been sent to Cherkasy, to the hospital there, to help them with all their medical needs. As we know, the conflict is still ongoing. We hope it gets sorted soon and things can come back to normal. So as I come to the end of my tenure, I think, again, a highlight is going to be probably my last event will be the VE Day ceremony. Again, I served my country. I did go to Northern Ireland when the conflict was still on, and Germany, and it will be an ultimate pleasure again to be able to be part of that. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Steve Darcy. I've been Chair of Policy and Resources Committee for the last year. As the name suggests, we're responsible for the policies that we set for the Council, and we also look after the resources, which mainly means the money. So we finance a lot of the work that the other committees undertake. So this year we've had a lot of projects underway. The highlight really is being the completion of putting CCTV into town. So this is a project which has been ongoing for a number of years, and we've had to overcome a lot of problems. But finally, we managed to get the financing in place with Wiltshire Council, get a supplier, and it's all up and running now. So this is a big support to our local retail and hospitality businesses in town, as well as anyone who is likely to suffer any crime that happens. So that's up and running. The police are very happy because they can come and look at the footage. But we've also put in place new policies to cover how this is going to be operated. So if anyone needs to see the footage, they'll need to do that legally through a solicitor. Other projects that we've undertaken this year have been to undertake a lot of refurbishment to the town hall, which is necessary. So we've installed a new lift because the old one was going to break at any time, and we couldn't have had that. We've also upgraded the old schoolroom. The floor was coming up, a lot of damp, so we've had to replace the floor, which was quite disruptive. We had to move the food bank, but that's all in place now. There's a new floor down and it's all operational. We've also had to replace part of the roof because it was rotten. There was water coming through, a lot of damp, and again, that's now repaired and it's in good order. But this is all necessary because bookings in the town hall are up. So this is a real asset to the town. Lots of local community organisations use it. And so we're seeing a resurgence, in effect, continuing after COVID, of people actually using the town hall, coming here and using it as a centre of the community. So that's all good news. Other projects in town, we have installed some power at the back of the Abbey for community groups to use for events that take place there. So that's not just town council events, but it's also for local community events such as the carnival. And we have theatre groups who can also use the cloister gardens. So that's a major asset now and something which has really expanded the use of that area. We're also putting, we haven't done this yet, but we've got quotes and we're moving towards it with plans of putting power into the Market Cross. So again, this will support events such as late night shopping, Petticoat Lane, and anyone else who wants to use that area for a community event. So that's again, something which is a permanent asset and is a real bonus for the town. As I mentioned, we also have to look at and review our policies, and we've undertaken a major review this year. So we've updated our standing orders, our financial regulations. We've also had to put in place, as I said, the CCTV policies, and we reviewed a number of the other policies as well. And that's all a bit dull and boring, but it's something that has to be done, and it's good that we've made progress on that this year. To go along with the expanded use of the town hall, we've also decided this year that we're going to extend the opening hours for the Tourist Information Centre. So previously we shut the Tourist Information Centre at weekends during the winter, but we've now decided that we're going to keep it open all year round. And we are seeing an increased footfall of tourists coming into the town, which is great for businesses in the town centre. And it also helps local residents as well, because that's where you can buy tickets for events and get information about everything that's going on. One of the changes we've made this year was to upgrade the lease for Malmesbury Victoria Football Club, as they got promoted to the next division up. So well done to them. But going into the next division meant that they had to upgrade their facilities at the ground. And in order to do that and to gain grants, we had to renew the lease and extend the timescale of the lease to allow them to do that. But that's all going through, and so we hope that Malmesbury Vics will do even better next year. One of the projects we've started this year, and will continue into next year, is the refurbishment of the chapel at the cemetery. This building has been in place, I think it was built back in the 1800s, but it's really been out of use. No one's been using it for a long, long time. But we decided that refurbishing that and making it available to the local community, to funeral directors, to local churches, is something which will be beneficial to everyone. So we've started a consultation process with the local community. We're having open days, and we'll have a meeting, a public meeting where people can come along, give their views as to how that's going to be used, and we'll make money available to upgrade it and make it a useful community asset yet again. And finally, one of the jobs of the P&R committee, the Policy and Resources Committee, is to allocate grants to people who apply to the Town Council. And this year we have allocated over £4,000 worth of grants to various community charities and organisations. And this varies from helping the Arts Month, which happened last September, to helping disadvantaged school children on an exchange trip to Germany. So there's a lot of small groups who do a lot of good, who benefit from the support that we give them. So I'd like to thank all the members of the P&R committee, which is comprised of the chairs of all the other committees, as well as a few extra elected representatives. Everyone's worked hard this year, as well as the town hall staff, who, as ever, do a great job of putting everything that we ask them to into place. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Robert Hastings. I'm the chair of the Town Hall and Facilities Committee. This committee looks after the Town Hall, which is, Malmesbury's very lucky to have this amazing asset for the town this size. And the committee's job is to maximise the income from this asset, from the Town Hall, through renting the rooms out, hiring it, the John Bowen Gallery, renting that, have exhibitions in there, and basically maintaining the asset as well. So this year we've done a full structural survey of the town hall to make sure it's fit and proper. It's going to last a few more years. We've done repairs to the roof, the ceiling in a few rooms, redecorated it, new toilets, improved the storage for all the catering equipment so we can cater for bigger events and make it look a bit tidier. We also look after play areas around town, so we've been upgrading those to make sure we cater for children of all abilities and things like that. We've look after the cloister gardens. It comes under our remit as well, which we've put new planting in there to make it look nicer rather than just grow weeds in the flower beds. Installing a new kitchen in the old schoolroom as well. The kitchen upstairs was refurbished this year with new store, so we can do catering now for all events. I'd like to thank all the suppliers and the builders who have been involved in doing the work in the old schoolroom and doing the new lintel. They've done a great job, and the people who installed the lift all come in and all done on time and minimum disruption to the Jackdaw Cafe and the people that's going on. So it's been some big work, especially the old schoolroom. There's a huge amount of work done over the Christmas period while everything was quiet. So that was a huge piece of work that was delivered on time and certainly exceeded expectations. I also like to thank the town hall staff who've been managing the projects and organising the suppliers to come in and get things fixed. We're constantly asking for their help, and it's much appreciated all the time.
Hi, my name's Ian Wallace. I'm the Vice Chair of the Community Engagement and Town Promotion Committee. Last year we took on lots of events and activities throughout the town, and I'd just like to talk through a few of those amazing events. First of all, we had all the Athelston 1100 events, which Campbell Ritchie organised, and we had lots and lots of different activities, which included 10 speaker events, where Tom Holland and people like Sarah Foote also attended, and Tony McAlevey, who did amazing talks which people all signed up to, and all of these were a real sellout. We also had the Big Dig activity, which identified lots and lots of artefacts from under the ground of the town. And recently there was the finds weekend where people could come and look at all the different finds in the town hall. The next event I'd like to talk about is the Art Festival, which is organised by Karen Drake and Kim Power, who organise local artists to display artwork in the local shops, and everybody in the town loves going around and exploring those new art exhibitions, and they're always for sale. This is a growing activity which is getting bigger and bigger every year. The next activity I'd like to talk about was the Eat Festival, which took place in October. It was the first time we'd done this type of festival, and it was an amazingly hot day and the weather was brilliant, and we had thousands of people from lots of different areas come to visit us. We're also planning to do this event again this year. The last event I'd like to talk about was the late night Christmas shopping event, which was impacted massively by the storm that came in. It was 3 months in the planning and 24 hours in the rearranging into moving the activity into the amazing town hall we have. If we didn't have this facility, we would never have been able to do that. It was a great event, thanks to the town hall and everybody who participated in the reorganisation. And finally, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Campbell Ritchie, Karen Drake, and all the other people that have spent many hours this year involved in driving the activities in the town. It's really great to see so many people participate.
Hi, my name's James Slade. I'm one of your town councillors, and I'm also the chair of this council's Planning and Environment Committee. The name, as it suggests, is responsible for planning matters in the town, but also how we look at the environment of the town and surrounding areas, protecting it and making the best decisions for it. The role of the planning committee is really interesting. We are what's known as a statutory consultee, and what that means is we have a right to be made aware of any planning applications in the town, and we have the right to thoroughly and objectively review them. And we do that in one of several ways, but the first and foremost thing is listening to our residents. So we really welcome residents' views on potential applications and how it may impact them and their day-to-day lives. One of the other ways that we do it is by looking at our local plan. This was a fantastic piece of local, essentially, legislation that was introduced several years ago, and it spells out the kind of development that the people of Malmesbury want to see, where and how much. And we really use that as a bit of a yardstick when we review potential applications. And third and finally, it's our committee. We bring our kind of joint effort, joint knowledge to the table to make sure we give all applications a real fair hearing, but an objective review, again, in the best interests of the town. Many of the applications we receive are fantastic, and they're really sustainable, well thought out applications, typically by local people, local homeowners or business owners that simply want to continue to invest in their property and local area. And we love working with people that are doing the right thing. And there are applications that are at the other end of the spectrum, larger developments by large house builders or landowners. We are not immune from the need for more housing, and we are under pressure both from central government in London, but also local government in Wiltshire to deliver their requirement for housing targets. A real point of contention for Malmesbury is that Malmesbury has taken its fair share of housing. We're actually already over our subscribed land supply, and we have enough housing to meet our requirements. But that doesn't mean that the applications stop. So our job and our duty for the town is to really review those applications, see where there may be merit, but ultimately listen to our residents and fight them accordingly. One such instance of that was up on the Shurston Road site. This is just north of that Parklands development, where a potential house builder was looking to add up to 50 new housing on an area of land that actually is quite special to the town. It sits right on our town boundary. It's right on that area of outstanding natural beauty, and overwhelmingly our residents objected to it. So by providing a calm, measured but objective review of that application, and in working with our Wiltshire councillor, attending Wiltshire Council meetings, we were able to have that application thrown out, and Wiltshire Council agreed with our points, and they also objected to the application. Matters continue. We have proposed development up on the Fyland site. We should see another 150 or so houses added to the town. So we are right in the middle of that now. We're looking at how we can put an objection forward based on the feedback we've had from nearly 50 residents. Now, there are other things other than planning applications, and we're really lucky to be able to deal with other matters on the town. One of those is our market cross. It's arguably one of the jewels in the crown of the town, and it does require ongoing care and investment. And we have just signed off on a fairly extensive package of renovations, but also conservation to make sure that we can guarantee that market cross building for another 500 years. Something else we've done also is to introduce recycling into the town for our public bins. So rather than all waste going into landfill, we are actually going to be rolling out 5 as an introduction, 5 dual purpose waste and recycling bins. The ultimate aim of that is to try and reduce the amount of waste that goes into landfill. Even better, the build for those was put through a tendering process, and the successful bidder for that was a local Malmesbury firm. So we were really, really pleased to be able to work with them on that. We are all volunteers, and I really want to thank my committee for all of the work that they've done over the last year, giving up their time to try and serve the people of Malmesbury and their interests. I'd like to thank residents who attend many of our meetings to make their voices heard. And I'd also really like to thank our Deputy Town Clerk, Lisa Dent. She does a fantastic job. A lot of work goes in behind the scenes to make all of this happen. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name's Campbell Ritchie and I'm Chair of Malmesbury Town Council's Burial Committee. That's the committee that's responsible for running the cemetery at Tetbury Hill. The Tetbury Hill Cemetery is a really important part of Malmesbury's landscape. It's a place of interment, of remembrance and respect, but it's also a very important open space and it's a great home for flora and fauna. This is my last year reporting on Malmesbury Town Council's Burial Committee. I have been on the committee for 8 years and I've been chair for 7. Early on in the period when I was involved with the committee, we shared it with our neighbouring parish, Malmesbury St Paul Without, but they decided that they didn't want to be involved and we've been running it ourselves since 2019. I think since we were able to take over and had complete responsibility for running the cemetery, we've been able to show what we can do and hope that the town believes that we've done a good job in making the cemetery work much more for the town as a whole. We have, for example, refurbished the lodge. And that's meant that we've been able to attract a higher rent for letting it out, and it's now a much more valuable asset in the town's balance sheet. Across the cemetery as a whole, we've worked really hard to improve standards. We have refurbished the toilets, we have done work on the chapel to make sure that it's watertight, and we've established an environmental and conservation management plan. And to do that, we've had some great help from local residents, led by Sue, Melissa and Anne, and to them we are very grateful. We've got some great tangible results. We've got the new bird boxes, which we know are being used. We have undertaken more wildflower planting. We know we've already got 60 wildflower varieties in the cemetery, and that's a great treat. So we've changed the mowing regime. So you'll see some areas of grass being slightly longer at different times in the year, but that's to allow those wildflowers and other flora and fauna to thrive. We've planted a new grove of silver birches and we've got a new bird-friendly hedge, which is really thriving towards the end of the new part of the cemetery. This year, really excitingly, we're going to be creating a new wildflower area in that new part of the cemetery. It's in an area that we hope won't be used for many years to come, and that work will take place this autumn. Our most exciting project, though, is that we want to try and bring the chapel back into life. It's a great building. It was built in the 1870s, but for whatever reasons, it's fallen out of use, and until quite recently it was used just to store the lawnmowers that we used to cut the grass in the chapel. We think that's a bit of a waste. So having made sure that the building itself is okay, we're now embarking on a process of consultation with residents and other local users to try and see what we can do to make the chapel work to best effect for the community as a whole. So with the support of our local churches, the local funeral directors, we're now going out and asking residents, community groups and others to come forward with their ideas and to tell us about the type of extra work we need to do to make sure the chapel can really work, taking account, of course, of its very special location for the benefit of the community as a whole. And finally, the cemetery doesn't just run itself, and I'd like to give a big call out to our ground staff, to Sean and Mark, and to our admin team in the office led by Claire, who make sure that all of our record keeping and the services we provide work as well as they possibly can.
So at the end of this year, I suppose I ought to give out my thanks to people who've been there to support me throughout the year. Obviously, my first thanks go to my fellow councillors. Without them helping me along the way, it would have been a lot harder. The town hall staff, not only just those in the office, but obviously the groundsmen as well, and the caretakers who look after our town so well. And I suppose a special mention must go out to Linda Cryer, who of course is the Mayor's personal assistant. She has made sure that I know where I'm going and to be at the right place at the right time. And last but not least, obviously, to my wife. Her support over the year has been fantastic. It hasn't been easy for her, but certainly I do thank her for the support that she has given me.